Hello, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope you have had a beautiful weekend, a beautiful week. So happy to be back here with you for this week's energy reading. Before we dive in, I just want to remind you or let you know, if you weren't aware, that I'm doing a free 3-day training series this week called No Fucks Given. That is all about the journey to self-liberation. It's going to be incredibly powerful, and we begin tomorrow, Tuesday at 10 a.m. PST. There's a lot of information about it on my Instagram. You can check out my stories. There's a few recent posts that I've done that talk all about this series, but essentially I'm going to be guiding a group discussion and practices in order to help you release the patterns of people pleasing and the blocks that keep you from being your truest, most authentic self in all areas of your life. It's going to be a really, really powerful experience. There's a group of 25 individuals so far who have decided to join. I already feel the energy of this container and the momentum and kind of the force of change that's behind it. It's really palpable, and I'd love to invite you to join. So I'll leave the link to register in the notes of this YouTube video and in the show notes of the podcast. And it's also in my link in bio on Instagram. There's a lot of moving parts of where I have things these days, but I invite you to join us if you feel called. Okay, let's go ahead and dive into this week's energy reading. Okay, so I'd like to see a picture. It's already coming in. I don't even have to ask for it. So there's this picture of you holding an umbrella, and it's a really blue, like bright blue sky day. And above you, it's almost like you're walking in a city square. I'm trying to remember what country this was in, but I've actually been somewhere where I've seen a very similar thing, where above you, there is this whole wide array of umbrellas that are almost like an art piece, kind of almost making a ceiling above you. You can see the blue sky through it. So it's like you're holding an umbrella, and then there's all of these colorful umbrellas kind of covering this street, this place where you're walking. And you're like, your energy is kind of sunny, and you have a really like lovely, open, optimistic disposition. All of the umbrellas are very brightly colored. But you're gripping onto the handle of this umbrella very tightly. So it's interesting. There's this discrepancy between the openness and the brightness and the optimism and the ease that I'm seeing in the larger picture, but then the gripping of your hand onto the handle of the umbrella feels very tense, and there's a little bit of fear in it. So I want to look at that a little bit more deeply. So there's like a clinging to positivity here. Like when you are in a space of feeling really good or really positive or things are going well, it's like the fear that it's going to go away. So the need to grip onto it really tightly while you have it. And while you do that, it's like it's not allowing you to actually enjoy the experience that you're in, because you're sort of simultaneously fearful of when it's going to leave or that it's going to leave. It's kind of like, I have to hold on to this for as long as possible because it's not going to last forever, and you want it to last for as long as possible. And there's a fear of what happens when it goes away, when this brightly colored, again, like positive, sort of effervescent, optimistic energy goes away. But I'm wondering why there's umbrellas above you. So I'm going to check in with that here. Well, it's a layer of protection. And it's, again, they're more brightly colored, kind of positive things here. And it's almost like they're blocking you from the open sky, because even though the sky is like bright blue and it's a sunny day, it's this expanse of unknown. It's this, there's no boundaries, there's no limit. It's just totally open. And even though that's beautiful, there's something very scary about that. And so it's almost like over time, was it over time? Hold on. Yeah, it's like these are sort of, all these umbrellas are like over time, the kind of things that you've put in place as a protection for yourself against the bigger thing. And the protection, like, it looks really good. It looks positive and happy and brightly colored, but it's still blocking you from what else could be out there. it's not allowing you to able to fully see the sky. It's like you've put this protection in place that feels good, but it's still limiting. And it's like you really don't want to, it's almost as if this umbrella that you're holding is going to kind of go up to join the others, and you really don't want to let it go. So it's like, well, once I let it go, I don't know what happens. So what am I not seeing here? You're heading down this street to a place where there are no more umbrellas above you. You're heading toward a place where there is going to be access to the open sky. And it's like you have this knowing, this energetic knowing within yourself that it's coming. And it's kind of, that's part of what's making you grip the handle of the umbrella even tighter. So I want to see about this thing of like positivity, because in my thinking mind, I'm like, well, what's wrong with positivity and optimism? Well, it's the fear that if you don't hold on to it, or if you don't create it yourself, that you won't find it, or that it won't be there. It's almost like without the layer of protection, or without holding on to this umbrella, you don't know what you're going to get. And so it's safer to hold on to the things that you know. But what I see is like, you know, sort of a time lapse here. It's like as you get closer and closer down this road to the point where the kind of sky opens up, there's just this influx of like golden sun, just beautiful, vibrant, almost like so bright you can barely, you know, keep your eyes open kind of energy. And it's like, it's just waiting to infuse you, like infiltrate everything with this golden light. It's like, it's going to blow you away. And if you're holding on really tightly to this umbrella, you're going to block some of that sun. So there has to be a willingness to let it go. What happens when you let it go? Well, it's just like this fear, this entanglement of like, if I don't hold on to this happiness or this, wave, like crest of the wave of my emotions where I feel good, then I'm going to lose it. It's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. But there's so much beauty that's awaiting you when you let go of this umbrella, when you let go of this protection and just trust. And it's not that it's without rain at some point. It's not that it's without clouds at some point. But it's the trusting of the entire picture of that. It's the trusting of the sunshine. It's the trusting of all facets of that allow you to just open up your energy to the fullness of the experience that's coming to you. Is there anything else that I'm not seeing here? And it's like your spirit, God, the divine, however you want to look at it. It's like it has this gold cord around the umbrella and it's trying to pull it from you. It's like in the process of trying to kind of help you loosen your grip. It's like a safety blanket. It's like a comfort, blanket, safe security blanket. You know what I'm saying? That the universe is trying to kind of gently and lovingly remove from your grasp so that you can be open to the fullness of the sky, so that your hands can be open to receive. So if things are uncomfortable right now, if it feels like old senses of security or old safety, things that felt safe are kind of being pulled from you or ripped from you or shifting, trust that. Like what I'm seeing is that's according to the divine plan, that those things be removed so that you can open up to the expanse of the sky and the sun and the full range of possibilities of what's coming to you. Holding on to the familiar and all of the kind of protection that you've made only serves to block out that energy. So what's the next step to help you do that, to help you let go? I see it's like you're getting your shoulders massaged. What's happening here? It's almost like your higher self comes behind you and starts giving you a shoulder massage. And it's like giving you a pep talk, kind of like I'm almost imagining, like fighters in a boxing ring, like when their coach or whatever is like prepping them and giving them a pep talk. That's sort of what your higher self, your spirit is doing here. It's just like, you can do this. You're ready. You can do this. You've been training for this all season. You've been training for this your whole life. Like, let it in. And the next step is to listen to that, to trust that, because what I'm seeing is that you're receiving those messages. You are receiving those messages from your higher self, from the divine, that it is time, that you can trust yourself, that you're safe to lean in. And so the next step is to trust that and listen to it. And what happens when you do that? It's almost like, again, it's this sort of boxing ring picture. It's almost like your arms, your heart and your arms are infused with this golden energy. And it's like this power that kind of comes down your arms and out your hands. And again, it's not like you're fighting, but this is just the image. It's like you get ready for the fight and you're imbued with all of this divine power, this beautiful golden energy that's just surging through you to move forward, to persevere, to be the champion, not in a competitive way, but in like the champion of your life, of your experience. Anything else about what you get to have when you do that? Again, I'm not fluffing your pillows. I'll just tell you what I see. There is so much beauty that is on its way to you. I'm seeing this giant rainbow and the energy is just so bright and so full of light and magic, and the kind of energy where you're going to be like, holy shit, how is this real? How is this happening? I dreamed that this was possible, but now it's really happening. Like how in a sort of bewilderment at the beauty sort of way. Is there anything else to know about this process? How to prepare for this energy of what's to come? Just one foot in front of the other, focusing on the present moment, focusing on each day, trusting that you are heading down that road towards this expanse, this opening, this shift, this new energy. And it's like I'm seeing you kind of staying focused on your feet, one step at a time in front of you. And when you do that, you're able to stay out of the cloudy chaoticness of the mind where it might have you doubt or second guess or invalidate yourself or all of that. It's like when you focus on each one step at a time, the present moment, the next right thing, and you tune into that, it's kind of like before you know it, you look up and everything's there. You're there. You're where you've been heading. It's all happening. I love it. That's exciting. Anything else to know here? It's just showing me this picture of you like having this beautiful rose that you hand to yourself. It's almost like you hand it to your heart chakra and you kind of like nuzzle into it. And it's just this deep sense of self-love. Love for yourself, love for your journey. There's a lot of reflection in it. There's a lot of like looking back at how far you've come and honoring yourself for all of the ways that you've shown up and tried and said yes and committed to yourself and done the hard thing and felt the things, like really having so much love and acknowledgement for yourself for that. Because you're going to need that where you're going. It's going to make that, when the sun comes in, when the rainbow comes in, when you reach this energy, this new energy that's on its way to you, it's going to be that much more sweet when you can appreciate all it took for you to get there. When you can appreciate yourself in that process. Because that's what it is. It's a journey of learning about you. That's what this whole thing is. The more you're present for that, the more you can have that. Okay, I'm going to end it there. Thank you so much for tuning in. As a reminder, I offer personal one-on-one readings. If you're ever interested in having me look at the energy that is specific to you in your space about anything that's going on in your life, anything you're blocked by, anything you're wondering about, I offer sessions where I do this sort of work individually, and I'd love to do that for you. The link for that is in all the usual places. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I will talk to you soon.